From the heart of Europe to the world, this is RTI.
It certainly is. And if I feel, sort of sound stressed out today, it's because, well, I am. I've had so much to do in such a short space of time. I don't even know where I am. Well, I do. I'm in the studio with you lot. But I just don't actually know where I am. Isn't that weird? When you get like that, it's possible. Anyway, I'm Eric. This is Postcard from Poprad. Leigh's here, I think. Are you there?
A bit of me's here. I'm not saying my mind's here.
But you have to put the microphone like that, darling.
Ah, dear.
Otherwise, we can't hear you properly.
We should get proper microphones.
That is a proper microphone.
It's a girl's microphone.
It's a wireless microphone.
Smells of girl.
I worry about you sometimes. I really do. And I'm trying to figure out what I've done wrong on here because something's not working right. Okay, well, it doesn't matter because we are sticking to our guns and saying, come over to, well, actually, it'd be a bit of fun if you would like to join us on RTI Radio on Facebook. That'd be cool. We like that. Got to say hi to some people. There's Sam, there's Robert, there's Hamada. That's a nice name, isn't it? I kind of like that.
That's very nice.
Miko's there as well. Thank you very much indeed for all of you. And we want to say hi to the lovely people listening to us on Xbox as well after a phone call today, which is quite fun. Today, Poprad. Tomorrow, the world. That's us, isn't it?
I've taken over the world today.
Yeah.
I could conquer the world the way I feel. Yeah. I have to explain that I've been to the dentists and I've been filled with all sorts of.
Did you say you said dentists as a plural?
There were two of them.
No, there's a nurse and a dentist.
They're both dentists to me. She
doesn't look like a dentist.
She doesn't look like a dentist. She looks like a
beautiful lady.
Yes.
Yeah, exactly. She really does. She's very caring.
It's actually because what you say in Britain is I have been to the dental practitioner or the dentist's shop.
Yes.
So now, because we're clever, we're sure it's a dentist's.
I think this is going to be a strange program today.
I've had 5 injections.
I nearly said a P word there.
No, I will be later.
Hello to Paul and Dave. Thank you for rushing across and helping us out as we push everybody over to the Facebook page, the fan page of RTI. By the way, Dave, lovely show last night. And very soon because a lot of you asked, last week a lot of people were asking, could we get some more Slovak people in to talk about Slovakia? So on the way, none other than our Tina.
She's lovely. She's lovely. And she's actually joining the ConsumerWatchFoundation.com.
3 minutes and 24 seconds. He managed it.
No, she is. She's going to be writing for us.
I know. Afternoon, Steve.
All right,
how
Steve.
You doing? So we'll be. The truth is, he's been to the dentist, and the dental stuff here that they give you is kind of funny.
It's lovely. It's like being in the square mile in London on an afternoon.
Yeah, okay. I get that one. Others won't. It is fun. Good afternoon, Keith. It is quite fun because the drugs they give you here in Slovakia are slightly different to those in the UK. And it has to be said, they're kind of more interesting. That's probably the only thing I can say, really.
Very interesting indeed. If you could see what was happening in my head at this particular moment, you'd be appalled.
No, that's just actually no new news, but there we are. Good afternoon to Ian McGregor, who's joined us as well. I once went to a dentist, says Keith, to have a wisdom tooth put in. Oh, very droll. Very droll. We like that one. Indeedly. But we'll get on with some news in a moment. And later on, we'll be talking to our Tina, the yoga and breathing expert. But she's a Slovak lady as well. I quite agree, Steve. Leigh doesn't need drugs to be strange. That's just absolute situation normal.
Thank you, Steve.
Oh, and you haven't had your eyes done yet, have you?
Why won't I having my eyes done? You're not. The dentist
so
isn't
you
doing
can
my
read
eyes.
the script.
I can't read the script. Let's come over here. Right.
Gordon Bennett is going to be one of those. I can feel it a mile off. Bob Burrows died at the age of 93. He was one of the innovative animators and brought together Camberwick Green. Pew, Pew, Barney McGrew, Cuthbert, Dibble and Grub.
That's right. I actually thought it was to do with Mr. Trumpington himself.
No.
But no, yes, and he's gone. Isn't that sad?
It is a bit strange. It's a shame, actually. And there was something funny about Camberwick Green because adults liked it as well as kids.
Do you think it was because people thought they were on drugs?
We don't really want to say that this time of day.
Don't we?
No.
Okay, I won't say it then.
Because we're responsible broadcasters.
Well, I've not said anything wrong. All of a sudden it was a Camberwick Green looked like people were on drugs.
Well, that's true. They did walk a bit funny, didn't they?
Exactly.
Yeah, you're right there. Anyway, it appealed to so many people. It was wonderful. The gorgeous Rosemary Bamford, who worked at Bletchley Park, she's died at the age of 93.
Did you know her?
No, I've seen pictures of her because obviously I was at one time there, but I've never met the lady. But she was.
Wasn't she one of the first?
Yeah, and this is absolutely true story because I was asking one of the historians there one time, and the place in the Second World War was absolutely teeming with girls.
Well, it was because all the men were at war.
No.
Oh.
Because the ladies could hear sounds that men don't listen for.
He's making it up.
True story.
He's making it up, ladies and
That's
gentlemen.
why all the radio operators in there were girls, not boys, because when they were listening to da-di-da-di-da-da-di-da Morse code, there's a face round the corner.
No face.
Well, we're going to let Tina sit there in a minute.
Okay, you can sit here, Tina.
You can go and sit over there in the corner so we don't have to look at you.
Let me see the way I've got to use my microphone.
Oh, God. Anyway, no, it's a very true story. They used to use ladies for the radio work because they would actually hear sounds that men don't normally hear.
What sort of sounds?
Very quiet, in the background, almost indistinct sounds. They would pick them out.
I'm going to check this, ladies and gentlemen.
You're
boys
very
and
welcome.
girls.
And that's why they were the radio operators.
Anyway, she was a lovely lady.
She was, actually. She really was. You better not be swearing in Morse. I was not swearing in Morse code. Anybody on the network, just tell him what da-di-da-di-da-da-di-da means. And I'm not telling you. I do know what it is. Da-di-da-di-da-da-di-da. And in fact, one time it was used as da-di-da-di-da-da-di-da, like that, on the intro to a news.
I was just thinking it's actually the basis of a song, and maybe it is the new song.
It was used as the news. Obi. Oh, no, not ABO for him. Oh,
Abby, not Abby.
AB. He's Israeli.
It's Abby Offram.
No.
Everybody out there, is it Abby or Abby?
Not AB. Abby.
It's Abby's husband, Abby Offram. And with his wife, whatever her name was. It was Abby and Thingy Offram.
Abby and Oprah. What was it?
Not Oprah.
No, not Oprah. I can't remember it. You're the lady that I love. You're the lady, Ooh.
Can I just go and take a straw poll?
You can.
Excuse me.
You can carry
Abby
on talking.
Or Abby? Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Well, why is it then that an Israeli guy called Abi Nathan was the guy that ran Voice of Peace? AB.
Well, actually, if you think about it, because it's only got one B, it's not ABBI, is it?
No, that's true.
It should be AB, but it isn't. So maybe he was an imposter.
No, because Esther was his wife.
Esther Offram.
Yeah, and AB is the bloke.
Yes. And how do you spell it? Has he got two B's or one?
It's got ABI.
That's AB, but it was always pronounced Abby.
Thanks, Keith. Now,
who's Keith?
On here it says Esther and Abby, ABO.
I don't know, because he's written it. You're just making it up.
Anyway, they were fab. I like that.
They were lovely.
Really weird song.
Anyway, he's dead.
I know.
Did you tell everybody?
Yeah, he really passed away. Poor old boy.
Oh.
Won it in Switzerland in 1963. And it's still played on the radio today, really.
Is that how old it is?
Yeah.
Good Lord.
I know. You remember actually cleaning the record, don't you?
So rude.
I know Paul's there from Australia, and I'm sure there's one or two others already. Melbourne is set to be hit by a month of rain. Isn't it pronounced Avey?
Is it ruddy or rainy?
It's tomato. However, I can't spell. That's Keith.
Excuse me, you missed out the 104-year-old man.
I'll get into that in a minute.
Oh, sorry. I can't see it, can I?
No, that's because you're old.
So, no, I'm just remembering everything that was on that script.
Yeah, right. You remember anything. Anyway, be careful if you're out in Melbourne. The mercury's about to drop like a ton of bricks soon. And temperatures will fall by at least 10 degrees. And there's going to be thunderstorms and those huge hailstorms that they have in Melbourne where the hailstones can get as large as a cricket ball.
Large as a taxi sometimes.
Yeah, I wonder what happens to your car if it gets bashed by those.
What do you mean, insurance-wise?
Yeah.
Actually, that's a really interesting point. I have no idea. Does anybody out there know what happens to your car if you get it bashed by a hailstone?
Is it one of those God things?
Well, it is an act of God.
Yes.
Or it's act of cloud.
Because they have this act of God thing, don't they?
Which, do they pay out on acts of God?
I don't know. Where's Ian McGregor when you want him? He's good
Mr.
at this
McGregor.
stuff. Mr. McGregor, look it up for us. Professor David Goodall hopes that his death will actually spark a debate in Australia because he was 104 years old. He was just kind of like his batteries had run out.
That's right. He said he couldn't do all of the things that he used to do. He didn't really enjoy life the way he used to enjoy it.
Yeah.
He'd lived a full life. He'd done everything he wanted to do. And now he'd decided that he personally just wanted to end it.
True. Apparently, we're being very naughty because Rachel isn't around today to look after us. That's because Rachel's a bit poorly.
Poorly.
She's talking like that. But we wish her well and hope she'll be back with us next week. This must be next story before we get Tina in here if she stops talking to your missus.
Should I go and tell them off?
I think you should. You can walk out. The radio mic works all over the building.
Excuse me, ladies. You are now both being told off for talking.
Listen to it.
No, you're coming on. Caitlin's coming on. Why don't you come on as well?
Just talk amongst yourselves.
No, we're just having a chat.
You can't win, can you? Anyway, I'm sure this is going to annoy everybody because Donald Trump he's trumped everybody, actually. He has trumped everybody in the card game. He's managed to get some guys out of North Korea ahead of him going to wherever it was, which I'll come to in a minute. He's doing deals already. And then to add to that, Trump's announced that they've captured 5 of the most wanted ISIS terrorists, including the top aide today. So he's got his people out of North Korea and has announced that the 5 of the worst people on the planet have been caught. And, you've got to say, he's either an absolutely lucky so-and-so with timing, or he's a bit of a cool businessman. I mean, playing the long hand.
Isn't it fair to say that Kim Jong-un has let these people go as a gesture towards America and the rest of the world, and that actually it was his decision, not Donald Trump's decision?
Of course it's got to be his decision.
So he's let them go, not Donald Trump saved them. Because where we've had no reports beforehand about any negotiations about it.
No, but I think it's because they're going to go to Singapore for this meeting.
Oh, yeah.
So everybody's playing the good kid.
I think that's it. Everybody's playing the good game, but I don't think that is necessarily one in the cap for Mr. Trump.
I'm sure he will get praised for it in America.
And he's only tweeted about the 5 world's worst terrorists that he's apparently captured.
Yep.
There's no actual news stories about it. So is it fake news, Mr. Trump?
I don't know. Great story from Poland. A tanker has spilt 12 tons of chocolate milk all over a motorway in Poland. I'm on my way.
You can't lick it.
Why?
But the thing,
I could get a big straw. For goodness
but
sake.
it is sad because the driver was quite badly injured.
Yeah, but he's all right.
Is he all right now?
Yeah, he's all right. I checked.
Oh,
Otherwise, I
right.
wouldn't have been flippant about it.
Yeah.
No, I wouldn't. I wouldn't have been flippant about a normal person. That's not nice. That's not nice. But anyway, apparently it blocked the main highways in Poland for like hours and hours and hours.
Wow.
But the roads have now been opened.
Sticky situation.
Oh, your jokes are so sickly.
Chopped away.
Geologists have warned of more aftershocks to come in Hawaii.
I like aftershocks. I like the blue ones.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Okay. Anyway, there's more than 1,700 people have left their homes so far.
This is bad.
And the aftershocks are going to be about as strong as the original shocks originally. It seems to be.
Does that make sense?
Well, yeah, they can be close, but they're never normally the same.
No. So does that mean that they're actually having more earthquakes?
Could be.
Mm.
Could be. Oh, sorry. Oh, blast, missed
Don't
it.
just chuck things at me.
I'll chuck it in the bin. Afternoon, Dorothy. You found us. That's good.
Hello, Dotty.
And so we move on to some news. I'm going to do it without throwing up. Putin's been officially sworn in as Russia's new bogus president for the fourth time. He can't be president.
Fourth time around, eh?
He can't be fourth time around because there was no real election. Well, there was him, or him.
Or a gun.
Yeah, or, as happened,
A gulag.
a lot of policemen bashing young people around the head.
Exactly. So,
Which is
Mr. Puttitin.
Yeah, you did really well, Mr.
Yeah, you should be very proud of yourself, Mr. Puttitin.
Yes, for not helping your citizens. And I wonder, do you know, it always makes me wonder, because I know young people are smarter than you and me. I did say us.
Yeah, no, but I didn't agree on 50% of it.
Well, okay. And I just wonder whether Putin really realises that these guys in Russia are smart enough to get round all the rules and regulations of using the internet. So they're probably listening, watching to news from the West, the bad people. And they're going, Vlado, nobody loves you anymore.
It's, he's one of those. Is he up there, really? Why have we got these powerful people in power? Why have we got Trump, Kim Jong-un, and Mr. Puttitin?
I know Trump didn't win the popular vote, but
they're all round the bend.
He did win the college electoral vote, which means he's the winner proper against the competition. Kimmy's his dad gave him the job before he died, and Putin is he changed the law so the supposed constitution of Russia, so that he could carry on being the boss for years to come. And that makes me worried. Not because he's a big, some bloke shouting and hollering. What's he hiding?
Well, what are they all hiding? There's no doubt that Mr. Trumpington's hiding things.
Could be, but he's not going to be the president forever.
Well,
because the voters change in America. They always do.
Oh yeah, well yeah.
Right. Kimmy Jong-un, he could be there till he dies, and the way Putin set it up, he could be there till he dies. Now, when you're dead, it doesn't matter what they do to you, does it?
Well, in principle, no.
No, there you go then. Yeah. I'm very, very, very proud of Scott Mitchell and Dame Barbara Windsor, the beautiful Dame Barbara Windsor. The reason being, boys and girls, it must be incredibly hard to say to people, I've got Alzheimer's. And I know some people that have, and the lovely Anne, who used to look after me when I was a wee lad, she's suffering with it now, but thank God the last time I went to see her, she's nearly 90 now, last year, she was absolutely compos mentis. She just switched on and everything went marvellous again. But for Dame Barbara Windsor to come out and say, I have Alzheimer's, I think because of her character, it will actually promote a whole load of good about Alzheimer's, as good as you can make it.
I think with Alzheimer's, we have a friend back in the old country that actually is suffering quite badly herself. And yet she has brilliantly lucid moments. And even when she's in the throes of it, she's still very witty and very charming.
Some can be.
Yeah,
Some can be. It's not the end of the world. And I think this is what Scott's trying to say. Because bless her Babs, she was struggling in, I think it was last year when she came back on the telly, and she was struggling to learn her lines. And that was what the first thing was. That was the key to it in EastEnders. Dum, 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 dum. And so, Scott saw that. But to avoid her getting into trouble with probably the press as well, as it goes.
Well, I think it's
Remember Stuart Henry getting clobbered in the 70s?
That's a long, long time ago.
Everybody thought he was drunk.
Oh, yeah. I
The BBC
this.
fired him, and he had MS.
That's right.
There's nothing wrong with it. Well done to Radio Luxembourg for
employing
employing
that sort of thing doesn't happen anymore. And I don't think it was really a closed secret that she'd actually got this problem.
No, I don't.
And it's come out now. It's come out
brilliant.
officially, and good on her. Well,
I agree, Steve. The soaps should now try to teach people about Alzheimer's to try and get rid of the stigma. And not being eggy about it, that's exactly why we have there's a huge stream of celebrities that have put this thing together, which we air, and it's to try and raise awareness and money for Alzheimer's research. And I think, what?
Who?
That threw me completely, Jim. But I think that's a good thing to do. Jim says, take the spoon out of the mug before you drink it, Eric. It's dangerous. No, they've been doing that for years.
He has, actually, yeah. But you can't have your eye out with it.
No, I've got glasses on. For goodness sake.
Just going back to what you were saying about the soaps. The soaps.
Oh, hang on. I'll do this for Jim. Oops, got it wonky. Sorry, if you're listening in your car, I was just showing a picture of the cup.
Yeah, it was far more interesting than what I was saying about the soaps.
It says $5,000 reward if you catch Eric.
Yeah, nobody's going to catch him, though.
No,
because nobody will chase him. But yeah, no, the soaps at the moment have got themselves in a lot of trouble, particularly Coronation Street, for the kind of storylines that they're using.
They're bringing awareness to stories.
Absolutely. I'm more to Coronation Street for the suicide, the male rape storylines and everything. Absolutely fabulous, grown-up stories.
Jim doesn't think I'm worth 5,000. That's not nice.
It's not Jim.
I'm hurt now, Jim.
Yeah,
if you believe that, you believe anything. But well done to Babs. Absolutely superb. Well done, my love. And I wish you all the best. I hope it doesn't deteriorate too. Oh, no. Oh, no. I'm surrounded by part-time comedians.
Why?
I know, it's great, isn't it? Anyway, R&B singer R. Kelly will no longer be on Spotify's featured playlist. Do we care?
Why? Why won't she be on it?
Well, because apparently he does harsh things.
Is she a he?
Yeah.
I thought R. Kelly was a she.
No! Rapper.
A rapper?
Rapper.
Like a kebab?
Not a W rapper, an R rapper.
Oh, right.
R rapper. Oh, no, never mind, I tried. But apparently it's because he's sort of not a nice person in the way he does stuff, and it promotes things that aren't good.
He has been in trouble, hasn't he?
Well, people have got their underwear in a knot over the song I Believe I Can Fly.
That was by Orville the Duck.
Was he?
I can fly.
Actually, you do that really well after a couple of injections, better than normal. It just, I don't know. Music is music. I mean, I don't really like mentioning his name, but it's like Gary Glitter. Now, because he was a naughty boy, very naughty boy, I cannot playlist Gary Glitter.
No, I agree with you.
But other radio stations do, because it's the music, not the man.
Is degrees of naughtiness.
Yeah, and he went past it.
He went past it. I believe Michael Jackson went past it. And I personally wouldn't have applied Michael Jackson.
Anyway, I've got to say, my award for being the most wonderful person this week would go to Margaret Misson. And she's the mum of teenager Jimmy Misson, who was killed donkeys years ago. Yeah. And not only have they forgiven the person that's done it, they can't kind of get to meeting the guy yet. But Margaret said on an interview yesterday, which I was just so blown away with, she had no malice whatsoever. And she said, it's the parents that have got the part to play in stopping knife crime. It's not down to the police or the government. It's down to parental control.
I think that's a very, very good point.
And Margaret, I love you for that. I think you're just wonderful.
But really, the problem is when kids, no matter how well behaved or well brought up they are, very often go feral once they hit the streets.
They do.
And at the moment, when you think the amount of knife attacks, acid attacks, gun attacks in London alone since Christmas, I think we're reaching nearly 100.
I know.
And that, how do parents stop that?
Well,
Don't stop your children going out.
There are signs when your children are going a bit AWOL, I'm sure. I've been with kids like that, and you can see it. When they go back on the straight and narrow again, you can see it. So therefore, I would say, no, parents can see it. And you know what? At that point, parents need, and I know somebody who did this, a gentleman who had a teenage son, he actually contacted one of the old style community police officers, but they were in plain clothes, and said, look, if you carry on like this, and the policeman said to him, look, one or two things is going to happen. You're going to die, or you're going to end up in prison. Which do you want? Because I don't want any of that. And he said, well, I suggest you walk away from them idiots. And it worked.
There was a very famous politician whose name escapes me at the moment, who, was it Heseltine, who took his son, I know, I apologise if it wasn't Heseltine, took his son to the police because of his misdemeanours.
Yeah, there was a senior politician, I don't remember who it was, but I think that's absolutely right. And no, it's not about locking kids in the room. It's about enabling them to go out and feel safe and not having to get a taxi to go 2 blocks down the road.
That's right. It's a very frightening place in Britain.
Absolutely. Russia has hit out at Britain again. Don't care. Alexander Yakovenko has repeated claims that Britain has abducted the Julia and her dad, who were the subjects of this attack. Now, the Russia's saying they've been abducted. The Skripals have not been abducted. I know what it is. He wants to get hold of them and say, when you come out and talk to people, don't say it was us. It was somebody. Say it was an English bloke. And you know what? It is so obvious. What do they think we do? Come up the Clyde on a water biscuit? For goodness sakes.
This is just old-fashioned propaganda, isn't it?
But nobody believes it anymore.
Well, if you believe what's on Facebook and you believe Donald Trump, maybe people believe this too.
Nah.
I can see it.
Don't.
People don't want to believe what the truth is anymore. They want to believe this kind of wild, romantic, ridiculous propaganda.
All right. Hello, Dave. You all right, mate?
All right, Dave.
All right, Dave. That's Dave Wiltshire, my brother.
Is that your brother? Hello, Dave.
So Cliff Richard's court battle is coming to a close. The judge is going to make his decision. It will take several weeks for that to happen. And in the meantime, do you know what? I don't want to know.
What don't you want to know?
I don't care now. The thing's gone to court. You can pontificate for the next 4 weeks about who's right and who's wrong. Nobody knows. Well, judge hasn't made a decision.
No, but if you take into consideration what else has happened this week, which is somewhere on that list I can't see,
yes,
that is a very important point. And actually, it's a strange thing
but that's a different story.
Well, it isn't a different story, really.
It's got nothing to do with that.
Yeah, but it could stop people like him doing what they're doing.
No.
It could.
It won't.
It could.
It won't. We'll come to that in a minute. A man who says a Big Mac is the perfect food, get this, has now eaten 30,000 McDonald's burgers in his life.
Good on him. I'm a vegetarian apart from McDonald's and kebabs.
And he actually, get this, he said, the 30,000s. This one is the biggie for me. So I think he had a Biggie Mac. That's really bad today. Retired police officer Don Gorsk said he'd reached the culinary milestone, and that was in Wisconsin. It was on the television, on the radio, in the newspapers, everywhere.
I've got to say, though, eating 30,000 Big Macs isn't the same as eating 30,000 Big Macs 2 or 5 years ago. Because the Little Macs now, they sell them as
well, that's
Big Macs.
true, actually. Yeah, it is true.
Yeah.
They shrunk.
Shrinkage. It's called shrinkation. Do you know they're actually going to shrink wine now? Bottles of wine are going to be sold in, I think it's 70 centilitre bottles instead of 75. But I'll tell you what, they're not going to reduce the price.
Have you seen? I was so angry the other day in a well-known shop, which is all over Europe and in the UK.
Aldi?
No.
Oh.
Tesco. Other shops are available. I'm a Bedfordshire boy.
He is.
I am.
You can always find him in Bedfordshire.
The nearest town to my village in Bedfordshire was actually in Hertfordshire. It's Hitchin, where I was born in the hospital. So I have kind of an affection for Hitchin. My first job was in Hitchin. So there used to be, well, it's still there, kind of. It's an office now. The mill's outside. Jordan's Mill.
Jordan's Mill.
It was a flour mill. It used to be right in the middle of a town until somebody said, that's a bit dangerous. It could explode, which flour mills do, apparently.
They do.
Yeah. So they moved it all out to Biggleswade.
That's in Yorkshire.
That's in Biggleswade.
Biggleswade's in Yorkshire.
It's in Bedfordshire.
No, it's not. Jeremy Clarkson comes from Biggleswade.
Excuse me. Do you not know Monty Python?
I've met him.
Eric from Biggleswade.
Yeah, but I thought he was from Yorkshire.
No, it's actually Bedfordshire. Also, joke apart. Anyway, how did I get there? So anyway,
I have no idea.
I've gone into the local shop here and I've gone, it's Jordan's breakfast cereal, the proper one. So I've gone, cool. And next door to it, Frosties.
Frosties?
Yes. And I'm like, I got to heaven. Hello, Mark.
Hello, Mark.
And I get home and I open the box and there's this plastic bag it's a paper plasticky thing now, isn't it? With lots of air in it.
Yeah.
The cereal content's about half the size of the box.
Absolutely. It's a rip-off, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. They don't reduce the price when they reduce your food.
Okay, Numpty Award for Research of the Week goes to a university in Australia who've obviously got money to find out that sharks like jazz music.
What's wrong with that?
Nothing right with it either. I mean, how do they know? Hang on.
Has that got a shark?
Can you do that bit? And I'll do.
Yeah. Well, now, Shut Back the Knife. That's got a shark in it.
Oh, the shark base. Mark says yo. Okay. All right. Yo, Mark. Yo, Mark. Jeremy Clarkson is, it's so funny how people are so polarised about it. Do you know he made the national news in Slovakia?
Did he indeed?
For being on Millionaire.
He's from Biggleswade, you know.
No, he's not. And Jeremy is great with cars. He's great with sort of physics type things. But you'd be better as the boss of Millionaire.
Well, that's
the host question.
That's a foregone conclusion, but I still think he's brilliant.
But he is brilliant. But his level of knowledge is in a certain area.
Oh yeah.
None of which the lovies like.
But isn't that part of the joke that he's been given the right to help the contestants out? And I think he's not actually managed to help a contestant out to get it right.
He did get one.
Did he get one?
Yeah, apparently he got one. I don't know. But anyway, this is the new, to celebrate 20 years of Millionaire. They've bought it back and they've given an extra lifeline, which is Ask the Host. And you can ask Jeremy. But the funny thing was, he's kind of like revered here. So I'm just waiting for Clarkson's Millionaire to appear on the television here. I can see it happening.
I can see it. He's very, very good. If you watch him, he's actually taken over exactly. He starts at the start of the point where the other bloke left it.
Yeah.
What's his name? I forgot his name.
Chris Tarrant.
Chris Tarrant, of course. Chris Tarrant. He has used the same physical gestures and everything.
But he's not acting. That's him.
That's right. But then he's got this acerbic edge to his wit.
That's a big word.
Acerbic?
Yeah.
That's what I feel like I'm on.
Yeah.
And
oh dear.
I can't think of anything to say now either.
I just hope that that Jeremy gets the full series out of it rather than 7 days. I think he's so funny, and the way he will push it a little bit harder than
that man you can't remember the name of.
Chris Tarrant. because he will take the mickey out of the guest. But what he's actually doing, he's trying to make them relax.
Yeah.
That's the fun thing of it.
What he's actually trying to do is make it an entertaining show.
Absolutely. Radio 1's Scott Mills, who presents the Eurovision semi-finals, revealed that Robbie, that's in terms of Williams, is considering competing in the European contest next year. Hello to... Oh, hi, Alish. Dobry den. Ako sa mas, Alish.
Dobry den.
Goedemiddag, Gabby. If anybody comes along from France, I'm going to do that one as well. And I've got to say, I can't remember who said about it. I was watching it on YouTube last night, and I'm going, is this the Eurovision Song Contest?
I know you were. I was ashamed of you.
No, because it was good.
I'm even more ashamed of you now.
You should have heard and seen what happened when Hungary came on.
Why?
It was a heavy rock, almost death metal song. Like that. He was doing all that. And the guitarist, you know, where they throw themselves in the crowd and go backwards down the people, he's still playing his guitar as he's doing the surfy job down the audience.
All right, then I nominate Five Finger Death Punch for the next Eurovision Song Contest. Oh, they go bah, bah, bah.
Yes.
What they do a bah, bah, bah.
Do they?
Yeah, very good. But
Ali says all is well there. Well, that's nice to know. I believe it's quite sunny where you are as well. But anyway, I have to say, if you are one of the naysayers about Eurovision,
that's me.
It's as if the young people have got control of it again.
Why?
Because the music, there was a couple of songs that I'm going, oh my God, it's 1970s Eurovision. It should be on Radio 2 or smooth radio. And smooth radio, there's only one thing smoother than smooth radio: a piece of glass you can't stand up on. It's horrible.
Why would you want to be walking on glass?
Well,
that's a good song.
Walking on glass. It's terrible. I can't.
But I tell you, if Robbie Williams does actually do the Eurovision Song Contest for Britain, will win.
Could do.
Yeah. He's brilliant.
But the thing was, there were dance tracks,
I
pop tracks,
like dance tracks.
Euro pop tracks,
like pop
rock
top.
tracks.
Don't like it.
There was all this different variation. Ali says, what's wrong with death metal?
It's all right if you're deaf.
Yeah, that's true. Now, if you want a rock band, it's Deep Purple.
How passé.
Oh, please.
If you want a proper rock band, you want the Flaming Lips.
They are slightly indie, though.
Oh, yeah. That's
true.
why they're so good.
Anyway, I think it's going to be well worth watching this edition of Eurovision. I'm sure the voting will make you as frustrated as normal, where you'll have regions of Europe all voting for each other. Doesn't matter what the song is. Political voting is what happens. I must vote for my neighbour. Who's writing that?
Who's that?
That's somebody on my computer doing that.
You cheeky monkeys.
Yeah, if we got Deep Purple to do Eurovision, that'd be brilliant.
And the Flaming Lips and Five Finger Death Punch.
Someone's playing with my computer in my office. I know.
Have you been hacked?
I think that's that naughty Tina. She's got to come in the studio in a minute, otherwise we won't get the slow bit in. I'm going to run down a couple of stories. Can you go and grab Tina?
I'll go and grab Tina. How long have I got?
About a minute.
Oh, I'm not going to do much grabbing in a minute.
No, yeah. Two men in homemade spacesuits conned a load of people in India.
Excuse me, darling.
You can hear him in the office. Listen quietly. Oh, it's DJR doing it as radio. Oh, sorry.
Oh, heck.
It's DJR.
You don't know what I've just witnessed?
What?
Two young ladies lay on the floor with their legs in her hair.
She's doing yoga.
She's doing yoga. So I'm going to go back in a minute with my eyes shut.
Right. But how's she going to do yoga and be in the studio?
Well, she'll have to stop doing the yoga.
No, it's all right. I'm happy now. It's Dave doing the radio bit because, of course, he's on radio. It's very confusing. A wildlife park has been fined for letting a bear out in Canada to go get an ice cream. They took this brown bear in a truck without the local authorities' permission. This was in Alberta in Canada, and they've been fined because they didn't have the right paperwork to take the bear into town to get an ice cream.
How would it get his microphone, its ice cream through its muzzle?
But it doesn't. This one is so friendly.
It's a friendly bear.
It sits in the front seat of the truck.
Is it like that idiot one in the corner?
Yes. Yeah, a bit like
we'll
him.
get Tina again.
All right. Anyway, they've been fined for it. This is lovely new technology, is allowing emergency services to see patients via a smartphone. And what it enables the paramedics to do is not just diagnose the patient, but also, if you've broken your fingernail and you called 999, they can see it and go, no, actually, you can wait a little bit. We'll go to somebody who's having a heart attack first.
Woohoo!
What? Oh, hello.
Hello.
She's here, boys and girls. You're talking in that one.
Okay.
But you need to get a little bit closer, I think. A little bit.
Is that okay?
That's it.
Boys and girls, this is Tina. And we'll finish off that in a minute. So I think that's a great idea. Brilliant, marvellous, wonderful. And part of the reason Tina's here is because last week people said, we want to find out more about Slovakia.
Okay.
So you're the official representative. Can I move you slightly there? That's lovely. That's perfect.
Can I just interrupt you before you do say anything and tell the people that this is Tina, who is going to be spiritual editor of the Consumer Watch Foundation.com.
He's coming. He lasted 3 minutes before he
Thank
got the first plug-in. It's all down to you lot, actually, that Tina's here. But I do love that, the bear, the people getting
good
nicked.
story.
Did you hear that one?
No.
In Canada, the local park took a bear out in the truck, which they do regularly. He sits in the front of a truck and goes around the park with them. He's so friendly. So the driver decided to go to the town and buy it an ice cream. Only he didn't have the paperwork to take a wild animal in the town, so they got fined.
So there's trouble brewing.
Trouble brewing. Yeah, it could have been Yogi.
Yogi, yeah, I was just thinking.
Yeah, she's just been doing Yogi.
Yogi Boo-Boo. Yogi Boo-Boo. Yogi Boo-Boo. What are you going to get, Keith? Oh, I don't know. Anyway, so this is Tina. She does yoga-y things. She's even tried to make me better, which is probably mission impossible, but she keeps trying.
That's not true. We tried it about a year ago.
Actually, it did work.
And it did work. You were doing really well.
And then I got all silly.
Yes.
Why? What did you do?
He stopped.
You stopped? Why did you stop?
I stopped at the same time it came all cold.
Probably, yeah.
When I stopped riding my bike.
Yes.
And everything just went...
Around that time, yeah.
Now, we did that, actually. When we came back from Spain last year, we stopped doing any exercise at all. And we're both facing the rigours of it. So
you're talking very quiet now.
I'm being polite because Tina's here. And, and so it's silly if you stop doing exercise once you started. So you should start again.
Yeah.
Because you're so silk-like.
Oh, Steve, shut up.
Yeah, shut up, Steve.
Shut up.
Yeah.
Can I do an Essex? Shut up.
Yeah.
That's
Can I do a Mancunian?
Can you get Eric to do yoga?
I can.
Yeah.
You've done it, haven't you?
I've done it already, yeah.
I'll use the camera. Get him on the floor now, Tina.
No. Actually, I'll be honest. And I mean, I know I fool around on here a lot, but I did have a motorcycle accident when I was much younger, which messed up my third and fourth vert. Not yogurt, Keith, yoga.
He doesn't have enough culture for that.
Oh, no, it's one of those days. So I do have a back problem. And I was laying on an absolutely solid concrete floor. It got a very thin carpet over it, and that was it. I've told this so many times in front of you, and I know. And Tina was pushing me about and making me move about in certain ways. And I genuinely thought, oh, God, he's going to talk about drugs again.
I'm not.
He will.
Right.
I genuinely thought my back was going into sort of a circular place in the concrete, and it was being supported by this sort of concave piece of concrete. And that's what it felt like. And then... Oh, I'll do that in a minute, Alice. And then I got up And I got up rather quickly, and you're saying slow down. We then went, not too long afterwards, to a birthday party with a very tall young lady, and she's not heavy, but she's very, very tall.
I've only heard this 15 times as well.
Whereby she's got a few extra kilos because she's so tall. She dares me to pick her up, at which point Tina goes, "No, you're back!" So I just picked her up and stood there.
Yeah.
And everybody went,
That's right. Yeah, everyone was looking at you.
And they go, "What?"
I'm holding your back.
I know, everybody panicking.
Yes.
So yoga, the point is, yoga does work. It does work.
It does work for the people they want to do yoga.
Why are you looking at me when you said that? Like I'm a bad person.
Because you're sitting beside me.
Why does yoga work anyway? What's the secret of yoga? Why does it make people better and fitter?
Because I don't think it's only about yoga. I believe that it's with any exercise you like to do. And if you work with your breath, and if you do the exercise right, and if you shut your mind, would I said that right? You know, any
shut your mind.
any
very difficult. That means you got
any
to
sport will do.
do.
So basically, if you just like what you do, and you are not trying to be outside the exercise, but being with yourself.
Yeah, you've got to get really into it.
Yeah, and
And
then
it's hard.
any exercise could be good for you, and it's kind of meditation in a movement.
No, it's flipping hard work.
Is it an exercise though that anybody of any age, including Eric's venerability, can actually be involved in?
It could even work for Leigh at his age.
Which is younger than Mr. Wiltshire. He's 130, you know.
People are laughing at you at that comment over there.
But what comment?
They're laughing at your age being younger than mine. They're putting little laughter things on Facebook. They know, you see. But it is the most weird. Your mind says, "I'm not exercising," but your body says, "Jesus, I'm sweating like hell, and my muscles are killing me."
Because it's because you're using the muscles you're not used to use during the day when you're walking. You know, when you do any other things, you're using inner muscles.
I use my fingers as muscles.
You use your fingers,
Yes.
yeah, but you don't use your back muscles because you only sit in
Yes.
the relaxing position.
Yes.
You don't use your
Hands, head in shame. I mean, I do walk from the car park
hips,
to the lift.
nothing.
I walk from the car park to the lift.
That's true, and into your car.
That's 1, 2, 3, 4 meters.
Yeah.
How important is walking as exercise?
Walking, I think it's very important. I think we should be taking off all the cars and just walk.
See, what interests me, like Andrea, my erstwhile partner, the wonderful Andrea, is doing this 10,000 steps a day thing. She manages it about once a week.
You're rude.
No,
You
she
are
doesn't.
rude.
No, she doesn't. But every time she's done the 10,000 steps, her phone, which monitors what she's doing, says you've lost 4 calories or 10 calories. So really, is 10,000 steps worth doing?
I think it is. Any movement we do, it's worth doing.
Yeah.
You know,
But it doesn't get rid of calories like it claims to.
no, because calories has, you know, it's few
It's a
things
combination
they
of
work
food
with.
as well.
Yeah, it's a combination of food, of the
Yeah.
breathing, of the water. You know, it's of the time you're sleeping. You know,
But that's not how the 10,000 steps thing was sold. The 10,000 steps
No, but
thing
it's not
was
true.
sold.
Quite a lot.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Is
But
it not
that's-
true? Yeah.
That's why they there was this big argument. A lot were pulled off sale last year because people thought 10 steps equals this. But Tina's absolutely right. And one of the biggest issues I get told off for is not drinking enough.
Yeah,
Sure.
because you can't lose the weight if you're not drinking enough water, and if
Yeah.
you don't know
Water.
how to breathe. Yeah, drinking.
I hate
Sorry, I
water.
didn't get that.
I hate water. I did ask if I could drink wine, and she said no.
That's very funny. I just have to say, at the dentist today,
Yes.
he was doing colour matching on my teeth, which I'm carefully hiding from Tina, if you notice.
Yes, I'd
With the
noticed.
microphone, yeah.
Vein,
And
Mr. Vein.
he said, "This colour is so you need to do it," like that. And I said, "Have you got any wine-coloured ones?" Yeah.
Actually, Steve reckons, isn't Leigh that old that he can remember when England had a decent football team?
Absolutely can't remember anything about football ever. Yeah.
So, if if we're a novice, we're going from day one.
Yeah.
Which is a bit like I'm having to do this year because I've got to start all over again.
Yes, again.
But I have got my new bike and I have been out on it.
Okay.
And that hurts. Oh, it hurts. It doesn't hurt like riding the old bikes. It's got springs and suspension and got gadgets on it.
You'd have to have gadgets. Have you rewired it yourself as well?
No, but when I get on the bike, you're going to like this story. When I get on the bike and it moves away, it's got a motion sensor in it. And it automatically talks to the phone in my bag.
Oh, Jesus.
And then the radio comes on.
The motion sensor is the only way you know you're moving, isn't it?
Well, no, because the radio's on, so I know it's working. It's easy peasy. It's logical, isn't it?
And it goes faster when you move faster.
Is it?
No. And the radio still says the same. It doesn't get faster.
Okay.
You can't do the program too quick. But, okay, so I'm at ground zero. And people think that yoga is kind of like standing on your head, but it isn't, is it?
No, it isn't.
Stand on your head.
You
That's
can
really
one
difficult.
day, but it's not. Yeah, that's what you do with stuff.
Under a trainer, obviously, what could you expect from the first couple of classes that you took?
To know how to use your inner muscles. To hold your back, how to help
My brain's got very bad today.
Okay.
It really is. I've got my naughty boy head on now.
Okay.
I've been so stressed this morning. Yeah, go on. Sorry, carry on.
No. It's just that on the first classes, I teach people how to use inner muscles to release the pain in the back, because mostly people are coming with the pain in a lower back.
We got
and
big
neck.
bellies, isn't it?
Yeah, big bellies, not enough movement, sitting all the time, behind the computers, on the phone. So basically, we start with
We resemble
back
that
issues,
remark.
as I would say.
I don't have a big belly.
Oh, you walk though, don't you?
I do walk a lot. Yeah, I lose 4 calories a day.
That's why we agreed that we are going for hiking.
Hey?
We're going hiking.
You're going with us.
Yes.
I did not agree to any of that.
You're not
You
invited.
said it. Yeah. Oh no, we told him that he's going. He has to give us a lift because we have no car.
You're chauffeuring. Then you can vegetate in the car.
Oh, I bet. Oh. Actually, I could do some tests of the internet, like 1,700 meters up.
Yeah, see how many calories you burn.
No.
Driving?
No. Driving? No. So it was an argument I was having on Facebook the other day.
Okay.
Because up on the Tatras, if you've got an ordinary radio, it doesn't work because the signal doesn't reach.
We did that once, didn't we?
Yeah, and it doesn't because you're shooting underneath, the signal goes underneath. And yet the RTI, right on the top where the Queen went, which is, I've forgotten the name.
Oh, Sliskiron?
Yes, because it's 1,743 meters above sea level. RTI comes in perfect.
Oh, I don't believe you. You have to go there with me to show.
That's all right. We can do.
Not by car. No, not by car.
No, we go up in the ski lifts.
No.
In the bubbles. In the bubbles. There's 2 bubbles which scare the pants off of me because I don't like heights.
So that's on.
Good job, you're 5'3" then.
Then
yeah,
Skalnate Pleso, not.
Yeah. Sorry,
Skalnate Pleso.
Yeah, that's the one.
Is that near Krakola Hole?
Cola Hole?
Krakola Hole.
No, it's the other way. No, it's the other way. Kralobahola.
I have a question for you. Can it help married couples when they complain their partner is a pain in the neck?
Take a deep breath.
No, mate, listen. If you're married, there's one sentence you need. Yes, my dear. And the other one is, when she's wrong, she's right. When she's right, she's right. When it's a maybe, you just don't know and run away.
That's 4 sentences.
There was one sentence plus the explanation.
No, sorry. If you punctuate them properly, that was 4 sentences.
What will I do when I go there for the first time?
What, yoga or up the mountain?
Yoga.
For the first time, you will learn how to breathe properly.
That is really good.
To release the pain in the back, because I know that you have pain in the back, so I'm talking to you. And then again, we learn how to use the inner muscles. So you'll be lying on the ground mostly.
and learn
how to use the inner muscles.
Excuse me, are you suggesting I fall over when I come out of the wine bar?
We take him for the class, so he knows what we are talking about.
Really? Tonight? The one thing I would very much suggest everybody does. And again, I'm going to be serious from it, because recently there has been some what I will call very dirty air in Poprad. And what happens is these clouds come up, they pick up the sort of sand from the Sahara. They come across to here, hit the mountains, and it rains with the sand in it. And for asthmatics, that is not a good thing. And a couple of times I'm going, ooh, that's hurting slightly. And I'm not going to tell everybody what it is because that's your secret. Use one of the breathing things with your mouth.
Oh, a technique.
And you just breathe. And you know, that has saved me so many times already.
Thank you.
No, it's absolutely true. From being stressed out, 15 to 20 seconds later, you're actually calming down. And because you're calming down, you feel yourself calming down. I might have one shot of Ventolin to sort of keep me going. But instead of calling 112 in a panic, actually, you've just saved the Slovak government money. Well, the health insurance people
shouldn't be paid for that.
I think you probably should actually. Yeah. The other question is, in the world, is yoga the same kind of thing everywhere, or does it trend in different ways? Like America's different, Australia's different.
It's very hard to answer because I was only in Ireland.
Where does yoga come from? Where does it originate?
Yes, it's from India. Originally, yeah.
Yeah.
But I think it's very different and it's very commercial now. So people are trying to put all the other things into yoga, to do dance yoga, to do this kind of yoga, and the other kind of yoga. And I think it's losing the basics of what yoga does to our body, because basically yoga is about meditation and a movement.
Yeah.
And it's not about showing off.
No, it's not. It's not like a martial art, is it, at all?
No,
completely opposite.
Yeah, it's
Completely
being yourself, on the mat, and that's it. It's only you, your breath, your body, and the mat. That's it.
Now, because you were sitting outside for so long and didn't come in here, which really
I was teaching Andrea how to release the pain in the lower back.
So why didn't you tell us we'd have brought the webcam in?
Very quick question for Sina.
You got to be really quick.
It's very quick. You learned yoga in Ireland?
No.
Oh, sorry.
My first teacher, she was from Germany. And then I learned yoga from IQ Academy in Prague Republic, because they're specialized on the back.
Yeah. Hello, Lucy. You're a bit late, darling.
Yeah, what
you are,
Lucy?
Lucy. Naughty girl.
Naughty Lucy.
You went to Ireland. You stayed there a considerable time, really. But you came back. And so many people are saying, why do people come back to Slovakia? Why are people going to Slovakia?
Because it's brilliant.
Tell me why.
Now, first of all, it's my home. And I still have my family here. Even though I was in Ireland for 7 years, I miss the mountains.
You do, don't you?
Yeah. Because when you wake up in the morning and you see the beautiful mountains and you have a fresh air, it's completely different.
It's so clean, yeah.
It is.
So clean.
So that's the main thing. And even though I was thinking to start my business in breathing coaching over in Ireland when I was there, I decided that I'm coming back home because there are people in Slovakia, they need that as well, and I can teach breathing these days online.
Because it's really,
English,
you can do everything.
So, you can do everything. So the reason for me coming back was the family, the nature, and that I want to have my base here.
Did you know
anyway?
She wasn't coming back to see us? Marvellous.
Well, no, because I wasn't here.
Oh, Lucy says, I know I'm late, but I love you people. Oh, Lucy, that's so...
All right.
Thank you. We love you too.
Yeah, we love you too. Love you lots. And Judith is there as well. Hiya!
Hi, Judith.
She's sending us love. Oh, that's nice. But it is a wonderful place. And if people have got breathing problems, because of the good altitude and the good clean air, it is the most phenomenal place. That's why there's centres up in the Tatras.
It was always like that here in the mountains.
Fabulous.
Yeah, that is so
and
many.
It's really weird. What's the one thing people should do when they come here, apart from go to your yoga centre?
I would say go hiking to the mountains. You know, see the place from above. You know, I know you don't because you don't like exercise.
Yeah.
But there is one place I was talking about on Wednesday, which I like the most, and I always go there for my birthday. And it's the place, beautiful garden near the castle, Straszki.
With the trees.
Yeah,
With the trees in a
trees.
circle, and very, very peaceful
And I'm
place.
sorry, boys and girls.
Yeah,
That's it.
Finish. Yeah.
I'll just say goodbye and thank you.
Thank you so much and goodbye.
All right. Bye-bye, Sooty.
Bye-bye, everybody.
Have a nice day.
Bye-bye.
That was Postcard from Poprad for another week. Thank you to everybody for joining us. We love you lots. And we'll see you all again in the fullness of time. That's the word I was trying to think and couldn't. There you go. Steve Bishop's up next. I'll see you soon. Take care. Bye-bye.